in Miami.
Himself, like I told you. My name is Trudy. I'm from Africa.
So I decided to do what she does. So while MissTrudy is here in such close proximity to me in Miami, while she's on the beach of Miami Beach, interviewing
I want to know what do you think of Africa?
random people on the street about what they think of Africa, I decided, let me go around and interview random people on what they think about colorism. Oh, here's a person here. Would you like to be interviewed, by the way? No? All right, the person does not want to be interviewed. But anyway, we'll find more people. So come along with me. Let's go and find out, what does Miami think about colorism?
It's a mother country, so, you got to love it.
Got to.
Personally, I'd actually move back to Africa.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we're at Pollo Tropical, and I have my first interviewee here. You want to get? Go ahead.
My name is Lauren.
And Lauren, what is your take on colorism? What do you know about it? Is it something you've heard before? And have you seen it in practice? Would you practice it if you had the opportunity, or do you know whether or not you practice it?
So I'm aware of what colorism is, and I think it's very deep-rooted all throughout the world in all countries. I don't practice it. I try my best not to. I feel like everyone has their own biases, like subconscious biases. But I try to be very aware of my place on the colorism spectrum, as well as the role that I play into it. I think
So
it's
what
unfortunate.
roles do you play in it? Like, have you experienced it yourself?
I think that I've experienced it on a negative end and a positive end, and I try to confront it on both parts. Just being an African American Black woman in society.
So you're African American?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is for Myra's girlfriend. I'm sorry. Sorry, don't worry.
But I think it's very, very real, and yeah.
Yeah. So you say you've seen it on the positive and the negative.
Like it relates to me, like in a positive way. I know like people. They're like, oh, like if you're of a lighter skin tone, then maybe you get better treatment. Or I know there's someone that I work with.
Okay, give me the example. I need the anecdote.
And he is a light-skinned Black man, and he always makes the statement that he likes Cuban women, but he doesn't like dark-skinned Cuban women. He likes light-skinned Cuban. So sometimes I call him out on it. I'm like, oh, so it's not really about where they're from. It's about the color of their skin. And then he'll kind of tell me, he's like, oh, but you're brown, but you like light brown. I'm like, I'm still Black, like it doesn't matter,
Okay.
So that's just like kind of like a negative kind of take on it, and yeah, I feel like.
So does he do that in front of those in front of dark-skinned women, or he does that?
No, he in front of them, I don't think he even realizes that he does that. That's why I say I think it's one of those subconscious things that people do and they don't realize that they're doing.
I was asked to do an interview on colorism. Unfortunately, I have no idea what that means, but I'm here saying hello to you.
Awesome. Would you like to know what it means?
Sure.
Okay, so colorism is discrimination of within a race. It's because you've heard of racism before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of Black people, when you talk about lack of this, about the discrimination within the Black community, they said, how could we be racist? Because we are of the same race, so we cannot be racist. So then I started doing research back in 2007. Yeah, I was doing research at FIU, and I discovered that back in the 70s, they used to have this term called colorism. And have you seen The Color Purple or heard of The Color Purple by Steven Spielberg, written by Alice Walker?
Yes.
Okay, so The Color Purple actually showed it, but the thing about art when I was like younger is that we were not allowed to just be blatant and say it. We have to learn how to show. And this is what I think where The Color Purple failed in really making it blow out.
Yes.
Because Alice Walker basically was showing us the colorism, and you could see like with her characters like that was played by Whoopi Goldberg. She was the one that was being coloristic, and they were being that the guy, her own husband. He went and got that light-skinned woman as his mistress, and he was abusing her. She was the childbearer and the one to take care of. everybody. So that's what colorism is.
I see.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
God bless you.
Red as fire,
Tomato,
orange
Cuban
as
Man.
mangoes, yellow as banana peels,
We so
green
beautiful.
as
One looking at one point to the picture.
Picture? No. No, no, no.
Why? You hung.
No picture. I mean, I believe you.
No, picture me. Well, me, my picture.
What picture?
All right.
No, I don't want to see. I think you're going to show me
No, but
carrot or cucumber. I don't know. There is the vegetables. Oh, yeah. No. Not on the thing. I am a holy girl.
holy yeah.
Holy woman. You know what is it, holy?
Woman? You like the woman?
No, I don't like women. No.
I am mine.
Yeah, I like
picture.
men. Yeah, I know.
Greetings, my YouTube family. Welcome to Fort Lauderdale, particularly Las Solas. Welcome to Las Solas Boulevard. This is not Las Solas Boulevard, but this is the Las Solas section of Fort Lauderdale. I came down here to make a video to show Coco Girl how people who lose their homes become homeless in Broward County, which is just immediately north of Miami, how they have survived as a community. But this has been hell for me. The traffic is horrible on this Saturday. Everyone's going somewhere, I guess to the beach or something. And of course I couldn't find parking. So I'm walking here from a very far away parking. Everything was just like impossible. They also have the STEAM science fair for the kids, for the schools in all of the counties. I live in Broward, but I work in Miami. So in Miami, I'm a science teacher. So we have STEAM, which is, it's a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy to be able to produce these things. So you can imagine what's going on in downtown Fort Lauderdale right now. It's Broward Boulevard, guys. It's a lot of activities. They have this kids science, technology fair. So all the parents are down here, and of course there are the people who like to be on the beach also. This is what I was looking for 1 minute ago. This is the library, and I wanted to show you they have actually cleaned it up a lot from what it used to be. These streets used to be drenched with tents that people who were homeless came and they established an entire community right here around the library. This is the library in Fort Lauderdale, our public library, and it was just like out of the blues. It happened, I think, after the housing boom, when the housing market became not after COVID, because that was way before COVID time, because before the crash, or maybe around the time of the crash, but people couldn't afford houses anymore. You had it's almost like an entire homeless shelter just moved down here. This is, I guess, what we see in California, but in California, it's like a city, it looks like, of people who are homeless. So living together in a community where they do the crazy stuff that we saw Coco Girl doing in the van that she was in on the streets. So here we are. It took me a lot to be able to come here. I don't know what they have back there. They have some kind of generator or something that they put there, and they have closed down this area. This area was highly populated. They've cleaned it up a lot, because the place where you see the black fence, that used to be like a section of old tents. So right now, these unfortunate people, they just are on the side of the streets, and it's just a few people. But it used to be, I would come here. It used to be that I would come here on a weekend, and it was tents and tents and tents. It was a whole community that people were able to cook for each other. But apparently, the government decided that they're gonna close it down, and those who are unfortunate ended up moving. They actually moved out. We only see a trickle of people here on the streets. So Yeah, it was, I guess, just for a few years. I haven't been here in a while to see the situation. But apparently the tents are gone. This was like a city of tents, and the people, they really interacted well with one another. So I'm like, this would be a great place for Coco Girl to have come, but actually it no longer exists. Okay, so it has, and this place didn't used to be like this, but this is the remnants of what I'm explaining to you. Around the time when they had it was around the time of the Haiti earthquake. I think back in 2010, 2012, that's when this happened here. So this was around the first housing bubble in Florida, that you had this. So you could see the clothing that are lined up along the fences. So they have moved out. So I don't know where the government put these people, but apparently, well, they probably didn't put them in with the government. I don't think they care that much. It seems because there's a trickle amount of people left here, I suspect that they probably kicked them out, But then again, who knows? Because I'm sure that was a very strong statement that was being made against the city of Fort Lauderdale in the middle of wealth, okay? Wealth, I'm talking about $1 million houses, and they're building new ones all the time, and then you had such a high population of unfortunate human beings. I'm talking about human beings. Okay, so you see here at the bus stop a couple of people who are there trying to make a living. And I know Coco Girl says to say hi to people. Yeah, it's okay, but I don't know. Today I'm not gonna say hi to anybody. I'm not making a video on that lifestyle because there are many reasons why people end up in this lifestyle. God, we don't know why, but in the U.S., there are also a lot of opportunities for people. When I say opportunities, I mean, how do you think immigrants are able to come here with nothing and build? There are lots of opportunities, okay? So a lot of the times when you see people living in this condition, it might be mental health issues that are not resolved, and that are serious, and there's nothing you can do about it. So this is not like going to a place where you see people who are absolutely mentally sane and are capable, and if you give them one little arm or one hand, they will be able to make much out of it. These are people who are mentally unstable and therefore would not be able to take care of themselves and have resorted to the streets. Some of them may be on drugs. Sometimes when somebody stop and ask you, may I please have a cigarette? I'm like, you don't smoke, so why are you asking me for a cigarette? But that's like the kind of desperation. They cannot realize who they're asking for the cigarette. It was, they're just desperate for the cigarette. So, and things like that. This is the Women's Center. Hello. So here you have the Women's Center right here. And this is downtown Fort Lauderdale. I came from Las Olas to the very unfortunate place. I just love this house. Usually I would walk through the gardens, but I don't want to venture to see if the gardens are opening or open today. I noticed one of the gates didn't have a lock, but my car is not in a place where I can trust to leave it there without it getting towed, because it's at CVS and they claim that they monitor the place, so I may not go to the gardens with you guys. But this is it. This is the place I wanted to bring you to tell Coco Girl, why don't you come here and you're gonna see all the tents. And I thought I was gonna show her the tents, but the government got away with it. I don't think the government was gonna let it last 10 years, right? It's 2024, and I'm talking something that happened around 2010, 2013. Yeah, around 2010 to 2013. So it's been 10 years. So they're gone. They cleaned them out. Yeah, these gates are locked, so I can't show you the Women's Center right in front of the library. Nice little park, Can you? But of course, the tents never got this far. The tents with the sidewalk that I'm walking on is as far as they got, but they were all in front of the library. But they cleaned it out. So only a trickle of people. I wonder what happened. I know they had some. They must have put that on on the news and something was done about it. With all the houses that they're building, you would think they can house people who are unfortunate in those houses. But this is it for Coco Girl. This is Fort Lauderdale. Miami is a different situation. I don't really know the homeless shelters here in Broward. I know them in Miami because I work in Miami, so my school has sent me to homeless shelters before when I first started when I was super young, so I can teach the kids who are in that situation. I worked at 3 different homeless shelters, so I could have shown you if you want to do assistance to the people in the United States who are unfortunate, you can go there and you will find people. But anyway, in Fort Lauderdale and in Broward, I don't know what to show you. I only could show you this, which was a community. The community's gone. It's gone. So this is it, guys. So guys, for those of you who care to learn, it's a little bit of economic lesson. Let me just share with you. When I first moved down here, okay, I made a bad mistake in my choice of housing because it was a personal thing. I was doing well and, starting off at my new career. I'm working, if you will. I can't really call it a career. It was a temporary position for a year and a half with the feds. So I did very well. So I decided, yes, that I'm gonna invest in something that I could pay off if I have to, instead of something that's gonna be an economic burden for me, which was a smart idea. But yeah, because I didn't know if I was gonna lose my job. At the same time, I didn't consider stability, because teaching is a stable job. To be able to invest in something that was just about $50,000 higher than my home, I could have done that, because right now the difference between those homes and mine is over $100,000 to $200,000, whereas before it was just $50,000. So if you get it, and it would have been actually an ideal home for me. But the other problem was, like, when I say personal, my mother had always taught me about people, be careful of people being jealous of you, right? So I didn't want jealousy from cousins, because they had not thought about investing the way I did. Eventually they did invest, but me, I was always into investing. But it turned out that because I was only one income, and I was very careful about about spending beyond my needs, and my inability to really figure out the housing economy, I only really made one stable investment. I actually, in my lifetime, I've done 2 investments. I had my condo, beautiful condo, but it was another bad idea at the wrong time, because that condo, I could have bought it for less than half the price, okay, had I bought it at the convenient time and intelligently, but I didn't really think much. So the community, there were opportunities. So for those of you, find what you want, not worried about, well, I don't think anybody really falls under that. It was just me and my mother always telling me that my uncles always used to, or her cousins, okay? Not my uncles, her cousins, but I call them uncles. They always used to praise me for my studiousness and, my seriousness in life and my ability to help others. And my mother always used to have an issue with that, saying that, oh, they're going to make their children jealous of me and that could cause problems. So this was the idea. I'm like, let me take a humble thing, especially knowing that my family were already starting to be estranged. They're already starting to estrange me. I was like, let me not give them an excuse, because they could have taken an excuse if I bought, knowing that I'm young and I have my whole future in front of me, if I bought this beautiful mansion type looking house, because here I was able to afford it. Things were affordable back then. Now my home is like 5 times the price that I purchased it for, literally. So this is how much things have grown. A house back in those days that you would have bought for $250 would easily cost $1.2 million today, okay? But anyway, I would never have bought a house for $250 because, as I said, I bought something within my salary. And $250, when you really think of it, that was only like a little bit more than the price that I purchased my home for. I bought a very budget home, you know. But anyway, this is the way it is. This is my city. Welcome to the beautiful Miramar. So this is the older side of Miramar. The city is very young. I think it's about 30 years old. So it's a young city. Maybe 40, but it's very young. It's a very young city. Most of the houses were built in the 1980s, or right around the time my sisters were born. Like, you know, my sisters were some younger than some of these houses. So, yeah. But, and some houses are younger than my sisters. Anyway, so this is the old Miramar, guys. It's a beautiful city. I like it. It feels like home. Because my mother lives in Miami. So when I first moved down here from New York or New Jersey, whatever you want to call it, my cousin ended up being here, and I came and I felt like, you know what, this is a place I could sleep in, because I didn't really like Miami. Those little tiny houses spooked me out because, you know, we're not rich, so we're not going to live in those big old houses. And my mother was not the kind of person who invested like in things that she cannot afford. You know, some people do. So it was, you know, and she actually invested in less than she can afford. So we ended up, anyway, we lived in these tiny houses. So coming here, I felt it was okay. So I accepted the tiny house issue because, you know, in New York, the houses tend to be more than one story, so they don't feel like this. But I accepted it, and I decided I was gonna move here and invest at a very budget-wise, you know, decision. So according to my budget, and I sort of got stuck here because the economy. Because I really live by my budget. I will not take anything that if something happens to me that I would be unable to afford it. So based on my investment, the economy was never ever conducive for me to move in. I wouldn't move to West Miramar. Anyway, the ones that I would have moved to, when I first came down here, first of all, it didn't feel like a place that was safe because it's like farm area. And I was looked into investing in that way, but it was always too expensive. And even when it became inexpensive, by that time I had already invested in Kindle. And then, you know, right away, as soon as I let go of my investment in Kindle to move back down here, things just went back up right away. So I didn't even get a chance because I needed to leave before I reinvested again. So I never got that chance because things went up right away to invest in West Miramar. And the thing is, this is a convenient place where I live. There is a beautiful Catholic church here, but this is not my favorite Catholic church. It has a high Asian population. Someday I'll show you my favorite Catholic church in Broward County. Alright, there's another Catholic church in Miramar that I prefer. This one. But I have a good friend who used to pray with me in the Catholic church in St. Cloud, who actually works here for the priest. So, yeah, basically, I forgot the trends where I was at.